Welcome back to episode 42 of our Divinity Original Sin 2 2020 guide. Alright, when we left off, we had just beaten Mordus, alright? And we got Mordus to give us our third source points. Now, all of our sorcerers over here have full source points available, alright? They've got 3 each. We are at level 12. We are 79% of the way to level 13. And we are now going to return to Mordus, let him know, or return to Lohar, and let him know that we beat Mordus. Alright, so if you have Beast in your party, you're going to stand aside, let Beast through. You can one your way through most of that. Alright, and then if you talk to Lohar with anybody other than Beast, he's going to pretty much tell you the exact same thing that he told Beast. So if you were listening to the conversation, you're going to hear essentially the same thing again. He tells you once you get to Arx, alright, which is like the capital city, kinda. It's in Act 4. Once you get there, he's telling you to look for a wedding. The father of the bride is going to be it's a dwarf wedding. The father of the bride is a really higher up dwarf, alright, and he's going to be somebody who would know where the queen is at, because we are trying to take down the queen. These are all level 9 rewards. That is some garbage there, alright. Like, Lohar is level 12 like enemy, like we're getting level 9 rewards for that. That's upsetting. Alright, now we're gonna go and return to the square. We're gonna head back over here to Magister Julian on the docks. Alright, now if you grabbed everything that was in the cave where we found Lohar, a certain area there you found a note, and you found they were shipping Death Fog to Arx. So you can give that letter to him. Let him know they were shipping Death Fog, and you get a key to the Magister Barrack, and then he wants you to kill Lohar. Alright, now, there's a bit of a problem with that. Alright, if you have Beast in your party, okay, Beast will leave the party if you kill Lohar, okay? So if you have Beast in your party, there's really no easy way to finish Magister Julian's quest line there and bring him Lohar's head. Alright, and that's a little bit upsetting. Now, he gave us a key to unlock a chest in the upper floor of the Magister Barracks here. So we're going to come up here and see if we can find that chest. Alright. Awesome. Pillows, that means teleportation scrolls. Alright, so over here, we got this chest. It's locked. Let's open that up. Alright, you're going to get some decent equipment in here. It's only level 2 Lore Master, so it's not going to be at our level. Yeah, it's level 9 stuff, but you know what? That'll sell for a decent amount, so we'll take it. We'll sell it out to someone else. Now, if you have a strength-based character in your party, Lohar gives you his two-handed source hammer right here, alright? So it is a level 12 two-handed mace. Gives you 2 strength, gives you warfare, gives you an extra two-handed, and it's got a 15% chance to just knock people down when you hit them. Alright, so no battle stomp, no battering ram required. If you just hit them with this with a normal attack, there's a 15% chance they're just going to knock them down. Alright. It also gives 20% critical chance, so even if your character isn't hitting them with this hammer, that 20% critical chance still applies. So if you give this to a mage, and they have Savage Sortilege, it will still give them 20% chance to crit. Alright, that's pretty good. On that note, we have Fang of the Winter Dragon here, alright, is no longer equipped to Pyramus. Pyramus actually at the moment doesn't have any weapon equipped, because he took off a helmet that gave him extra strength and that allowed him to use the Fang of the Winter Dragon. But since that's going to give us 10% crit, and it gives us Intelligence and Hydrosophist, which is the only reason Mumbo has his current wand, we're going to throw that over to Mumbo, alright? So that's going to give him a little bit more strength, too, so he can carry more as our bartering person. Alright, and then we can just get rid of Rebecca's wand. We don't need that anymore. Now, if I didn't mention it already, we are selling some stuff right here because we're pretty close to level 13. So all these vendors are going to restock their supply pretty soon. So we just want to empty out our stuff so that when they restock their gold, we'll be able to take advantage of that. And again, quick reminder, you're going to want to buy some earth resistance potions when you see them pop up. Alright, it's not super important, but they will help out quite a bit in a difficult encounter a little bit later on. Alright, so we did in fact get this wand from Trader Ovis. We're going to give that to Pyramus, primarily because it gives Aerithurge and Intelligence. And on the off chance somebody tries to use chloroform on him, puts him to sleep, we now have immunity to sleeping. And it also gives the vaporize power, and vaporize and pressure spike together, you can manipulate surfaces pretty easily. And a quick note, vaporize will also get rid of frozen and petrified from targets, so on the off chance we get frozen or petrified, that'll help. Alright, so now we're going to actually follow up on a quest that we sort of started earlier, but I didn't want to go through it because we were a little bit lower level than I'd like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our teleporter pyramids, and we are going to go back to the one we left in Mordus's basement here. Okay? Now, his basement over here has this weird little grid set up, and you'll notice when you walk on this grid, right, so it lights up some like magical runes in the air here. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what happens, but the general idea is, and I'll show you one at a time here. Alright, if you have a person stepping on one of these panels, alright, I need Sir Laura to get off of here because he's actually ruining it. If you have somebody step on these panels, alright, it's going to create this little, I call it like a water symbol, because I think they're supposed to all be different elements. Creates this water symbol on the panel you're on, and above all the panels directly next to it. Alright, now that happens on all of them. Now if you have an overlap, alright, so these two panels when Sir Laura was on there, now these two panels with Sir Laura over there. If you have an overlap one time, then the symbol will change from a water one to a fire one. Alright, if you have overlap on there two times, it changes to an earth symbol here. Alright, so we're just going to have Red Prince come over here. Alright, and then I don't know if there's an overlap for a fourth time. Yeah, it'll just disappear, it looks like, if there's a fourth overlap. So it's just water, fire, earth. And if you use Spirit Vision, oh, look at that. It shows you a little arrangement of the rune symbols right there. Okay, so that means we have one overlap on these, one overlap on each of those, and then a triple overlap, or a double overlap right there. So there's three focused on that spot there. Now, that can be a little hard to figure out from that, so I'm just going to give you guys the answer for that one. So, starting from the row farthest away from the door, alright, you're going to want somebody on panel number 1, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Next row, panels 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So somebody on panel 1. Second row, you're going to want somebody on panel 2, or sorry, panel 3. Row 2, panel number 3, so this one that Red Prince is already on. And then the third row down, you want somebody on panel 1 and 3. Alright. And then for that bottom one, you're going to want somebody on panel 2 here. So as soon as Sir Laura gets out of the way. Now, I know you can do this with an incarnate. I'm not sure if a totem will work. A totem will work. Okay, and then once you get the right runes to pop up, this door will open. And then once the door's open, it stays open. You can run on through. Now, if you don't have elemental totem to use, there's a bunch of pots over here. Yeah, so there's 3 of them over there. I thought there were 3. Yeah, 3 of them over here. There's 2 of them over here, and that's actually enough to fulfill it your own. Yeah, so even if you're playing this solo, just one character, you can get enough pots to fill that up. Now when you come through here, alright, we get this kind of eerie, like bloody, veiny type texture on the ground over here. Alright, we're going to find a desiccated undead. So we got a lich over here. Alright, you're going to ask him what the buttons do. Alright, basically, we're going to free this guy here. To free him, you're going to want to hit the green button here. Alright, so we got a yellow button, green button, red button, purple. Hit the green one, and that'll free him. Give you some experience, and then it's going to start a fight here, so some more undead are going to pop out of these vases. I'm pretty sure if you try to break one of these vases, they'll pop out and he won't be free. Not 100% sure. But this guy here, alright, he's undead, and we just freed him. He was a prisoner of Mordus. Mordus was kind of draining the source out of this guy. Alright, so we're saving him. Kind of breaking the stereotype, alright? We got an undead guy over here, but at the moment, he's kind of the victim. You know, he was being drained by Mordus. Alright, so we're going to try and help him out a little bit. Alright, now, I did not set up my team before this encounter, because if you're playing this blind your first time, you probably won't set up your team for this part. You're going to think it's just going to be you versus this guy, if anything. You're not going to expect an ambush of 5 other undead. So I wanted to keep it kind of, you know, realistic to a first playthrough. So, we're going to look over here. This guy's going up first. Alright, so he's going to be, you know, kind of priority to crowd control, but they're all going right in a row here, right? Because of the way combat got started. Second turn, everybody's going the normal round-robin order. But, you know, this guy's going first, so he kind of gets priority on the crowd control there. So because the Lich did us a favor, took down this guy's physical armor, we can go ahead and just use a knockdown arrow right there. Alright. And then looking around, nobody has super low magic armor where I could put him to sleep with 1 chloroform. So we're going to end his turn there. Alright, and then we're going to have Mumbo come over here. And like normal, we're going to make it rain, give ourselves elemental affinity. Now, this is where I wish I had adrenaline on Mumbo, but it's alright, whatever. So I'm just going to freeze this guy up a little bit. Oh, so close. Alright, now that guy is still wet, so we can, in fact, stun him with that. Now, because this combat starts off with all the undead getting their turns back-to-back, you want to kind of prioritize the crowd control, not necessarily in the order of who goes first, but which ones are closest to your party. So this guy was right over where I wanted Red Prince, so I got him taken care of. And then these 2 guys were over by where I wanted Mumbo, so I got them crowd controlled. This one over here really can't attack any of my people unless it moves first. And this one over here is probably going to attack the Lich first. So those are the 2 that I didn't crowd control because they are the least likely to attack my party. Alright. Another quick note on this combat. The undead over here, the skeletal grave robber, he can summon undead help to the battlefield. Killing his summons does not give you experience, so if you're trying to like kill the summons first and then kill him last just to get more XP, it's not going to work. His summons do not give you experience. Alright, so once you finish killing the extra undead that are attacking this guy, he's going to offer to give you a skill book of your choice. Now, it's not just any skill book. You pick a skill type, and then he will give you a book of that type. Now, if you ask him to give you a source skill, he's going to be, like, offended, you know? He's going to be telling you that he's offering you free stuff, and you're still asking for more. He's going to get kind of mad. Which, you know, alright, I get that. I'm not sure what happens if you ask for an explanation. Pretty sure he gets mad and just runs off again anyway, just like with that one. So just pick one of these bottom few options here. If you go surprise me, I'm just get a random one here. I think they're all just, they're skill books you can already get. So there's nothing you can't, like, just buy. So I'm just going to hit surprise me. He gives you whirlwind. Alright. So then he does some stuff over here, and he books it on out of here. Ooh, now back here you're going to find a large masterwork rune, and you're going to find a rune frame of power. Now, although large runes sound like, hey, that's the biggest rune size you got, there's actually a giant rune size that you can get. So you can equip the rune itself, but I wouldn't put the frame on it. So the way runes work, and we'll talk about it more in depth in a later episode once we get the bigger sized ones. Runes with frames, you can't take the frames off of it, and you can't combine the runes to make bigger ones. So once you put a rune frame on, it's kind of stuck in that state. Alright? So you kind of want to wait to put the frames on until you get a giant sized rune. Okay? Alright, so we're back up here in the second floor of the Tavern. Now, if you remember, this Captain Abelweather here is being haunted by one of her former crew members. Alright? So, you kind of got to get rid of this guy. So the easiest way to do that is to just consume his source. So once you get source vampirism, you can just drain the source out of him. By the way, if you use vampirism on spirits, they just stop existing. You kill the spirit. Alright, and if you talk to her, let her know that, you know, she shouldn't be hearing the bells anymore, and she doesn't. And then she actually tells you where to find the captain's compass. But we already got the captain's compass, so we don't really need that information. But if you do it in the right order, this compass is supposed to be like the quest reward for ridding her of that spirit. Now, this Magister Eden over here, or Eden, because that's not how you spell Eden, but this Magister is being like, hey, somebody's using source. Are you a sorcerer? They're level 9. At this point, I'm just going to attack them, get the experience for that. The captain is going to run out of the room. And, yeah, we're just going to take down this Magister. Now, she has no magic armor. And I have plenty of water arrows. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. And, you know, I was going to freeze her, but I'm just going to put her to sleep. And enemies like this are a great example of when venom coating right here is perfect, because even though she's got a decent amount of physical armor there, Beast is still just going to go right on through with the poison damage. Alright, a rare event has happened. I have run out of lockpicks. I think I already showed you guys how to make lockpicks, but in case I didn't, I'm going to show you right now. So to make lockpicks, you're going to combine nails with any kind of hammer. I usually keep a repair hammer with me for this purpose. And then you kind of just smash the nails into the shape that you need to make some lockpicks. And you get 4 lockpicks for every bit of nails that you use. Alright, so I'm not going to need, I mean, I might eventually need all 44 there. I'm just going to use up 7 of them. So I keep 4 nails, so I can put nails on the bottom of all the boots here for all my characters here. So that'll give me, what, like 20 something, 28 to 32-ish lockpicks now. Yeah, I got 32 lockpicks. So now Beast can come over and pick this lock. Alright, once you're up there, if you kill the magisters up there, you're going to want to hurry up and get back down here, because you may get investigated for murder, and that may cause some issues. The main issue being that now when we come up here to trade with this Baron Laver fellow, he's going to permanently have vacuum aura on, so it's going to just constantly start ticking away at our magic armor while we trade with him. Which isn't a huge deal, but it will make it pretty much impossible to steal from him now, I think. I'm not positive on that, but I think it's going to make it impossible for us to steal from him. Alright, so we are now going to finally wrap up the quest we got from Lavrik downstairs. So if you remember, Lavrik gave us a key to come up here. And we're going to sleep with a female lizard. So we're going to have Pyramus, the one who got the key, come on over here. Alright, we're going to detach him from the rest of the group, and he's going to come on up these stairs. No, he's not. We're not going to do that yet. We need to go to the ship and respec first. Alright, the next bit of business we're going to take care of is a quest in the Stone Garden Graveyard. Alright. So on our map, alright, we are going to have this little walkway here. So we got Riker's, his little mansion over here. A little bit west and a little bit north. We're going to go right over here, and we should find Tarquin over there. So over here we're going to find Tarquin, alright. You can one your way through this conversation, and he's going to ask you to find a piece of a magical sword that he's trying to rebuild. Alright, I don't think he tells you that's what it is. He's just telling you he needs a magical artifact from the graveyard. Alright, and then he marks it on your map, I think. Alright. Now, these 2 runes, Flame and Masterwork, are my personal favorite 2 types of runes. So I am going to buy these from him. mainly so that I can show you guys how to combine runes. Alright, normally I would probably wait till they were large size to start buying them, but I'm going to show you guys how to combine runes, because that's useful to know. Alright, so we're going to get to where we have to go for his little side quest, alright, which is over here. So when you find this dog, Andras, alright, then you know you're in the right spot. Now we're going to check out this dog a little bit first. Alright, he's got negative air resistance. He's an undead dog, alright, and his initiative is 46. Alright, so he's going to be outspeeding us. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and get him down with some air damage. Alright, so we're going to have Mumbo start us off right there with some rain. Now if you try to open up this door and go in there, he's going to attack you. So we're going to preemptively attack him first. Alright. Now, Andras is a necromancer. Alright. He is going to summon undead help to the battlefield. Now, the undead help that he summons is very strong. Alright. As you can see, it did all of Red Prince's armor and half his health in one hit. Alright. And then he killed him with the second hit. So, this big guy right here, not a pushover at all, okay? So we are going to have Mumbo revive Red Prince, give him a little bit of high ground. And then we're going to have him encourage the team there. We're going to have Pyramus get that elemental affinity that we set up. Teleport that guy right over here. Now remember, Beast, even though he's a rogue, alright, and rogues you'd think are going to deal high burst damage, he also has a lot of crowd control options. So we're going to have him shoot his little spider web over here. Alright, and we're not so much worried about Andras being webbed, but we want this big dude to be webbed, because I don't think the big dude has any ranged attacks. He's just all big melee hits. So quick note, the first big summon that Andras pulls out will give you experience, but he can summon a few other things, and the other ones do not give you experience. It is just the larger skeletal golem thing that gives you experience for killing it. And once you take care of Andras, you are free to head on down into that crypt. In case you didn't notice, there is a lever over here you have to pull to open the door here. And once that's open, then you can go through here. If you can't find the lever, you don't know that it's there, you could be searching around for a while. Alright, and then once you get down here, there's going to be some petrified people, and then Quana. You'll notice if you open up any of these crypts, any of these sarcophagi, they're going to petrify you. Alright, so an easy fix for that, throw Armor of Frost on yourself. Alright, then open up one of these crypts. Alright. And then you can unpetrify Quana here. You're going to do some combat with her. And then she's going to have a key to get you to the next area that you got to go to. So we're going to unpetrify her. Quana here was the master of the Sourcehound up top, Andras. So she taught that Sourcehound. I guess it's not a Sourcehound, it's just a regular undead hound. But she taught him all the necromancy, or maybe it taught her. I don't know. Point is, they both have a lot of raising the dead type skills. She has an extra annoying version of that, where she will summon undead skeletons that summon more undead skeletons. So, if at all possible, you want to kind of avoid letting her get a turn. So, on your way through that whole thing, make sure you buff up your highest initiative person so they go before her. And then you just want to do everything you can, just knock her down or freeze her, or do something to incapacitate her as fast as you can, turn one. And then once she is knocked down or, frozen, whatever you manage to do, from there she's pretty easy to take down. Alright, and once you got her out of the way, check her body, and you will get a key. and you'll also always get this ripped page. This ripped page, usually I just tell you, hey, you don't need to read stuff, just make sure your characters read it. This one does have some useful information. The main bit of useful information is the number code at the bottom, 213, okay? So we're going to use that real quick, and then we're going to wrap up the episode. When you exit that tomb, you're going to want to head over due south. You're going to find the Tomb of Surrey on your map, or Surrey Crypt, sorry. And you're going to want to come down here. The key you got from Quana's body is the key that unlocks this door. I'm fairly certain that door cannot normally be lockpicked. I always say pickpocketed. Alright, so over here, you're going to find a button on the wall. You're going to want to hit that button. Going to hear some gears turning, but it's not going to open this door over here. You got to go over here and hit this button as well. I don't know if that was supposed to be a difficult thing to find, but they're both pretty easy to spot, even if your wits doesn't make them glow. Alright, so this thing right here, alright, this big sarcophagus, not moving. And if you open up this door, you're going to want to have just one party member come over here and stand on this thing here, because when you stand on that, it's going to lock this up. Now, if you happen to be playing this, one character, whether it's Lone Wolf or not, you're going to want to put some of these vases over there, or an incarnate or a totem or something to weigh it down. Now, when you bring the rest of your party over here, you don't really see anything. But if you use Spirit Vision, because, we're in a crypt, hey, here's some levers. Now, this is where the note that we found, alright, I forget who's got the note. Was it this one here? Yes, this is the page we got from Quana's body, and it's got that 213 code at the bottom. If you hit 1, 2, 3, if you go 2, 1, and then 3, it opens that up, and then it makes this thing shift over here. You can head on down in here. Alright, we're going to do the rest of this quest at the beginning of the next episode. Alright, I will see you guys next time.